A donation to the Heart and Stroke.
Research and education are working when you give to your local Heart and Stroke Foundation. We're improving your odds against Canada's #1 killer. Together, we can end the pain.
Another long night for Les Nordiques at the Coliseum, Quebec City. The Blues ahead of them now 5-1 into the third. The Jets edging the Whalers 2-1 third period in Hartford. And the Bruins 1-0 ahead of Minnesota second period.
Right off the face-off, the Canadiens nearly get another one. Peter Angelo had to make a big stop. Cardinal is in there in the corner. Carbonneau comes in to help. Cardinal gets the puck loose, comes in front of the net. Couldn't get a shot, though. Coffey had him tied up in front of Frank Peter Angelo. Here's McPhee. Back to Desjardins. Shot. Blocked in front. Rebound. Cardinal again. It's up high. They score! Cardinal took the shot. It got up high and fell in behind Frank Peter Angelo.
The Canadiens had 4 shots on that sequence. And you've got to feel a bit for Peter Angelo. I think he ended up putting the puck in his own net.
Carbonneau let Cardinal get there, goes right up on top, and I don't think it hit it. Might have hit the back of his foot, Dick, but Carbonneau had a chance to take the shot, but Cardinal was further back, and he let him take it.
That makes it 6-0, and Russ Courtnall's on a roll. 2 goals here tonight. He's up to 20 on the season, and a hat trick on Monday. And Scotty, you talked about Courtnall in the opening as one of the Canadians who seems to be coming to life, certainly from a goal-scoring standpoint, and he's proving it again here this evening. Good call.
Carbonneau. 1 assist. And Desjardins gets the other at 13:33 of this second period. 6-0. Courtnall's second of the night.
Another goal against for Coffey and Johnson, but Russ Cardinal, McPhee doesn't get an assist. He made the initial play back to Desjardins, who took the shot, and it was a hot streak for a guy like Cardinal now. It's 5 goals in his last 3 games, and just lets it go, wrist shot, and nobody's even picking up McPhee. He could have had a rebound had there been one to come to him.
So it's all Canadians on this Saturday evening, 6-0 now. 34 shots, second period, not over yet. 6 minutes left in the second. At this pace, they'll be well over 50 in the game. Canadians in again. Lemieux was turned around, and it comes back out, led by Gillen. The Penguins come in. Brown is hit hard! Gotten against the boards by Schneider. That's the hardest hit in a hockey game so far.
You know, Scotty, Frank Selke Sr., when he used to put together those great Canadian teams, had a saying, you've got to keep the kids marching on. Right here in 18 and 20, Schneider, at 28, 18, and Desjardins, you've got 2 20-year-olds. Pat Burns is playing with them as a unit.
Well, Schneider, you'll see he just finishes the check on Brown, surprises him. But one thing Matthew Schneider will do, Dick, is shoot the puck at the net. He hasn't passed up many opportunities. He's got 4 goals in the power play. He's only been here, what, about 6 weeks, so Matthew Schneider really making a dent and a good impression on the Canadian. I think he could be the best of their young defensemen with experience.
He had 3 shots on goal, Scotty, in the first period. So he is showing some great defensive ability, and also he has that offensive mind. He moves in very quickly. It's a good shot. Now it is McPhee coming out with a speedy Courtnall. But Courtnall up ahead of the play that time, and he was really flying, but it was offside.
At CIBC, we built something extra into an RRSP, a plan that could help you retire a millionaire.
Over time, our 10 RRSP options, including mutual funds and competitive rates, could make it happen. And we'll back it with service, like a tax receipt, usually on the spot. So come in and get us working for you.
After all, everybody wants a comfortable retirement. At CIBC, we want yours to feel like a million.
Branches open till 9 p.m. February 26 to 28, midnight March 1st.
At the Forum in Montreal, where the Canadiens are leading 6-0. I'm Bob Cole with Scotty Bowman and Dick Irvin, Ron McLean, and Don Cherry. We have 5:18 remaining in the second period. And the Canadiens, you talk about kids marching on. Well, the Habs are marching on tonight, showing very little mercy. And Frank Pietrangelo has been the busiest player on the ice so far tonight. Here's a chance for Pittsburgh. Peterson's shot is blocked. Bourque winds up. That's deflected off the net. Canadiens are all back there covering. Coffey slapped the puck behind the goal. Swoboda will take over. Swoboda coming out. Missed Courtnall with the pass. Carbonneau's racing in, but out of the net is Pietrangelo. And he fires one on the glass. Courtnall knocked it down. Carbonneau in. Courtnall grabs it. Comes in front. And he made a move on Coffey. He had Coffey going down. But then he tried to set up McPhee. Now, McPhee comes in himself, but Carbonneau a little late clearing the zone. And he was trapped offside.
You know, Dick, Burns has gone with Carbonneau and Strudlin's line on a 3-line rotation, kind of spotted the Walter line and also Naslund, who's been out there sometimes with LeBeau and Keane. So though they haven't played the 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been Carbonneau and Strudlin 2 out of every 3 shifts.
And the face-off will be just outside the Pittsburgh blue line. Again, Cullen, Recchi, and Loney. Odeline flipped one from center ice. Delorme was back, but here's LeBeau picking it up. Keane in front of the net. Odeline moving in. He got in a good position. He kicked it in front to Keane. Keane again with LeBeau coming in there. And the Penguins just hang on. Recchi skates down to center ice. In with Loney. Recchi tried to pass it to him. He's covered in front, and Waugh goes down to make a save on a shot from Cullen. Delorme, number 27, coming back for Pittsburgh. His pass ahead. Penguins slow and getting started. Tight up the center with the pass going to the line. Loney trying to go in there. Odeline stayed with the man all the way and pinned him on the boards. Recchi left it along the boards. Cullen trying to knock it loose. Canadiens get it out. Keane up to Naslund, one man back. Here's Naslund cutting in, and a nice save by Pietrangelo on a fine bid by Matt Naslund. Take a moment here to check in with our friend Ron McLean.
Thank you very much, Bob. In our second intermission this evening, Mario Lemieux, an update from Dr. Charles Burke, the man who is heading a team of physicians examining Lemieux's status and the possibility of his return this season to the Penguins lineup. Now let's go back to the gondola and join Bob, Dick, and Scotty.
Well, Scotty, look at that team. Any hope tonight? Not tonight, I don't think, but Craig Patrick is going to have to regroup quickly.
Well, even Burns has stopped putting Carbonneau every shift against Cullen. They were out against LeBeau. A little more flurry around the Canadiens' net, but their defense is non-existent tonight. They have not touched anybody. Fellows like Kite, Delorme, they're going to exist in this league, although they're missing Hillier and Busquets.
Not to mention the big guy on this evening. Only 16 shots on goal. We've played almost 2 periods. Pittsburgh in there again now. Long shot, rebound is there, but Patrick Waugh picked out that right leg. The puck lay there for a second or two, and he just picked it away. Morrison chopped one in. Dahlquist back to get the puck out. Schneider will have to move back in his own zone. Desjardins, the other defenseman on there for Montreal. The pass to the line. Strudlin on the move. Gets to center. Morrison with the pass and a Riche. Look at that move. Riche scores! Riche! A beautiful goal. Oh, boy.
Bob, as you said, beautiful. The Riche move on Dahlquist, of course, was the pièce de résistance, but the passing from the neutral zone to get Riche the puck there. 1, 2, 3. Here's the move on Dahlquist, and Scotty's in alone again. And he's 2 for 2 tonight.
He caught Dahlquist moving out at him rather than backing up. When you get a defenseman coming at you, you know, what else can you do? You put it through his legs, and it was an easy play for Riche, but assist for his 2 line mates.
17:31, the time of that goal by Riche. His second tonight, 39 on the season for Riche now. Corson and Sprudland assisted on the goal. Cardinal took a couple of hits and kept going. Oh, McPhee nearly got in behind Bork. Back of the net, Carbonell. And Cardinal was in front of the goal open. But the pass was deflected. Chopped down in front of the net. Cardinal winds up. Lets her go. Here's Carbonell. He got the puck back for Cardinal. Cardinal knocked it down. To Carbonell, nice play. Lume is in there from the blue line. He was open. Now he shoots it. He scores! Lume!
Dick, I saw Lume's first goal a couple of weeks ago on the game. November, I think it was, 1988.
That's right.
Last goal.
That's his first goal this season, and his first goal since Ken Dryden's cameras were on him early last season.
Well, he just takes the shot from the angle, and Peter Angelo is really in difficulty now with the 8th Montreal goal, Bob.
Well, you know, you can only stand in there so long. Look at this. Work behind the net. Lume shot an easy one, but
we got 3 Penguins behind the net just about when the puck went in.
Carbonell. Numero 6 and number 6, Russ Courtnall.
Courtnall and Carbonell assisted on the goal, and the time was 18:16. Lume's first of the season, 8-0 Canadiens.
A car has to be serviced properly. It has to be maintained properly. And at Goodyear, we do that.
Mark Haynes is a tune-up specialist for Goodyear.
We do engine diagnosis. We do fuel injection. We do electronics diagnosis. We do tune-ups. We do brakes. We do suspension work. We don't just do tires anymore.
The Goodyear Diagnostic Tune-Up. Signed, sealed, and certified by Goodyear.
We know what we're doing. We get the job done, and we stand behind it. That's what Goodyear Certified Auto Service means.
Well, there it is. The picture of this one, 1:28 left in the second period. Yes, second period if you've just joined us. And the Canadiens have chalked up 8. Nothing up there for Pittsburgh yet. Shot by Ryan Walter is blocked by Peter Angelo, and it's got to be tough. Not a goaltender like Peter Angelo or anybody else in the nets for this onslaught by the Montreal Canadiens tonight. 41 shots.
Fans from all over here at the practice this morning, all over Don Cherry. Any doubt about his popularity? We saw it this morning.
He must have signed about 300 autographs this morning. And I don't know where they get the tickets down there, but there were a lot of them here.
Bob, you're from Newfoundland. Do they really love Don Cherry?
Yes, they do.
All right.
Yes, they do. Swoboda shot. Tipped in front of the net. Lemieux tried to center it. In on the boards. That is Ryan Walter trying to get it out front. He did. And the Penguins are just running around now inside their own line. But the Canadiens keep coming. Boy, they were starving for goals early in the season, but they're making up for it now. Here's a shot that misses the net, and Patrick Waugh knocked it into the corner himself. 50 seconds remaining in this period. Recchi slapped one back there for Collins. Swoboda was watching that play. Ryan Walter chopped it ahead. Lemieux to center. Ewan is up there at center ice and nearly got in. Jim Kite feeds it up to center ice. Lume scored now for the Canadiens. The latest scorer for the Canadiens in this game. Back there with Swoboda. Swoboda played it onto the stick of Gillen. Then he goes back to cover on Gillen. Recchi steals it. He's stopped by Corson. 10 seconds left in the period. The Canadiens trying to clear the puck out. Here's Tandy up with a pass in front. Patrick Waugh made a great save on Recchi, who is in alone, and the siren goes. to end the second period. And Patrick Waugh making a big stop in the dying seconds of the period. Two-period shot total now is 42-19 in favor of Montreal. Coming up next, Inside Hockey, and you'll hear all about Mario Lemieux. Canadiens lead. Comfortable lead in this one, to say the least. Score at the end of the second, 8-0 Montreal.
Nobody competes like your Chrysler dealer. The guaranteed rebate. $750 guaranteed rebate on Sundance and Shadow. $1,000 guaranteed rebate on Spirit and Acclaim. $1,000 guaranteed on Jeep Cherokee and Wagoneer. $1,000 guaranteed rebate on Eagle Summit. If the rebate increases during the 1990 model year, Chrysler will send you a check for the difference. Chrysler's guaranteed rebate. No other car company has it. Nobody competes like your Chrysler dealer. Nobody.
What makes a great family of jeans great for your family? Heavyweight 14-ounce cotton denim. 4 full layers of seam strength at every seam. Copper oxide rivets or bar tacking at stress points. And waist sizes from 2 to 52. The Marks Workwear House family of jeans. Just $19.99 in sizes for men, women, and boys.
Good news! Garden Brothers Circus, the entertainment giant, is coming to Maple Leaf Gardens, filled with laughter, excitement, ferocity, glamour. Yes, Garden Brothers Circus is immense, remarkable, amazing, comical. Garden Brothers Circus is suspense, precision, pizzazz, hilarious. Garden Brothers Circus is thrilling, miraculous, explosive. Enjoy Garden Brothers Circus. You ain't seen nothing yet. Maple Leaf Gardens, February 22, 23, 24, 25.
You lucky people are hitting it big with McDonald's Treasure Cups. On medium and large soft drinks are impressive McDonald's food discounts. And that's on every cup, babe. Like large fries, just 69 cents. Oh, say, Linda, what did you get?
An Egg McMuffin for just 99 cents.
Ooh, plus, match the tab number and you can win from $100 to $50,000. McDonald's Treasure Cups. If you win, hey, I'm in the book. Let's do lunch.
Work as one, we care for you and stand behind the job we do. Putting you first is the master way. That's why we're proud to say it's just the way we do it, making you feel just right. Master Dealer, it's the way we care about you, making you feel just right. Master Dealer.
CBC News with Knowlton Nash.
Good evening. Here are some of the stories we're following for tonight's National. The Soviet Union's first multi-party election is held in Lithuania. Voters choose a new parliament that's expected to declare the Baltic Republic independent. Official results are expected Tuesday. Tomorrow is voting day in Nicaragua. More than 2,000 international observers are on hand to make sure the vote is fair. West German Chancellor Helmut Kohl arrives in the United States for talks with President George Bush on German reunification. Here at home, Quebec Liberals meet to discuss strategy in case the Meech Lake Constitutional Accord doesn't pass. And workers begin cleaning up 40,000 liters of spilled diesel oil in Vancouver Harbor. About 12 oil-soaked seabirds have already died in the port's largest oil spill in 17 years. We'll have more news later tonight on The National. Now back to Hockey Night in Canada.
Tonight on Inside Hockey, the story of Mario Lemieux. 66 was sidelined on Valentine's Day, February the 14th. Mario's point-scoring streak of 46 consecutive games was halted against the Rangers as Mario succumbed to a bad back. Obviously, this evening we'd love to have had a comment from Mario either on tape or live via satellite, but the Pittsburgh Penguins feel it's in his best interests to remain isolated from the media in order to focus on his rehabilitation. There is a rather bad side effect from that prescription. Dr. Charles Burke is the team physician with the Pittsburgh Penguins who is heading up the operation to try and get Mario's season back on track. Charles, I'm glad you came to the Forum in Montreal and joined us here tonight to help clear up a few of the questions about Mario.
Is there any new news? Might be a good place to start.
He's currently on his rehabilitation program. He has been on it only several days, so there has not been a significant change. But having talked to the therapist, they feel that he's a very good candidate for this treatment.
He is in Los Angeles, California, and as I say, being kept away from the media. A good way to preface all of this is to get right to the problem or problems that Mario and the doctors are confronting. And we're going to look at a section of the spine here and have you, if you will, tell us exactly what we should be thinking about.
This shows the spine that's made up of vertebral bones with the disc in between acting as a cushion. Now, this is a disc showing a herniation, that small red area, and that's a nerve root that produces the pain when it's pressed by the offending disc. Now, this is a normal side where the nerve root has plenty of room to exit. As we look at the other side, the herniated disc pressing on the nerve root and producing the pain. Mario's other problem occurs in the back. These small joints fit very precisely together and can cause back pain themselves. He also has a small problem in the bones between the joints. You can see here that spinal canal is a very small area, and the herniated disc will take up some of that area, producing the pressure and the pain.
Now, at this stage, have you determined that it's the herniated disc that is causing all the pain, and can you treat it as such, or is it, and I've heard the word arthritis, and I'd like you to perhaps clarify that, too.
Mario's symptoms have been there for several months, and we have known about the herniated disc, but he has not been symptomatic from it as we usually find in most patients. And due to a second problem that occurs in the bones, we felt that perhaps some of the pain was coming from that. But recently his pain has become more disc-like, and we are treating him as if that is the problem, and we're aiming the treatment at solving it.
Now, it's a triumvirate of doctors. You have Dr. Watkins and Dr. White in California and yourself. At what point will you decide to operate?
We have placed him on a 4-week rehabilitation program. Should that program not make any improvement in his symptoms, then perhaps at that time surgery would be entertained as the next option. We, of course, consider it the last option, and we will try any appropriate therapy that may help him before we exercise that option.
Why this has been such a fascinating case is that DeBartolo's two marquee superstars this decade, Joe Montana and Mario Lemieux, both suffering a herniated disc. In Joe Montana's case, you went in and operated right away. Why wouldn't you this time?
Well, Mario's second problem that occurs in his bone is what's holding us back. Joe Montana's problem was solely a herniated disc. But with Mario having the bony problem, should his bones be destabilized by surgery, then he could experience back pain from that secondary problem.
Many people wonder about the streak in the 46 games going for the record. Did he do himself harm by continuing to play in pain?
He did not. We would not have allowed him to play were that the case. His disc symptoms were not severe at the time. He was suffering no neurologic involvement, so we felt as long as he felt he could play, we would allow him to continue.
Is it because of his size and weight and the exceptional things that he can do that his spine is perhaps subjected to unusual stress?
As far as the bony problem is concerned, that is true. The disc problem can occur to anyone at any time.
The Pittsburgh Penguins keeping him away from the media and having him focus, you support that stance?
Yes, I do. I feel that a lot of the media attention does help and interfere with his ability to deal with this, and so we've asked people to try and allow him to go through his rehabilitation program without interference.
Could Mario play golf? And why I bring this up, everybody knows he's entertained the idea of a career in that sport. Does this situation apply to life in general and golf, or just to hockey because of its nature?
Anybody with back pain has difficulty doing any sport and most activities. So golf, yes, would be affected by his back pain, but the treatment he's undergoing, it will teach him to return to hockey, hopefully without pain, and will do the same for him as far as golf is concerned.
Very big concern for Pittsburgh, for the NHL, and for all hockey fans. Dr. Burke, again, I thank you for the answers and coming up to Montreal tonight.
You're welcome.
Dr. Charles Burke, an orthopedic surgeon and team physician for the Pittsburgh Penguins. There's what Mario was doing for 46 games, 103 points, it goes without saying. The Penguins and all of hockey miss him. Live, this is Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
When my family sits down to a good meal, we like to have a good bottle of wine to go with it. That's when my Colarossi wine is best. With the family, with friends, and good food. Everybody likes my wine, even my son-in-law. And he's a connoisseur. I like talking about Colarossi wines, but I'd rather drink it.
You only get the real feeling by doing it. Choose a career. Live the adventure.
The people who work on your brakes at Midas are trained brake specialists. You'll get quality brake service at a great price. And all Midas brake pads and shoes are guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Nobody tops the top guns. Nobody.
The way I see it, that coach should have pulled his goalie earlier. I was yelling at him. Well, I was yelling at my TV. My grandson says, Grandma, you're the worst sports fan in the whole family. I tell him I was a hockey mother before you were born, even before there was cable TV. He thinks that was the dark ages. He could be right.
Cable TV, bringing it all home.
In 1924, Esso opened its first research and development center with one person. Since then, more and more people have joined the team to develop advanced petroleum products to help Canadian drivers go that extra mile. Now over 300 people make our center the biggest in Canada. And our future, and yours, is looking very bright. Esso, going that extra mile.
At your Chrysler dealers of Ontario, you've told us this is what you want. Dodge Shadow and Plymouth Sundance. 3 and 4 door, just $12,399. Price includes air conditioning and automatic, plus 47 standard features.
I'll take it.
Plus, choose 8.9% factory financing.
I'll take it.
Or choose $750 guaranteed rebate. If the rebate goes up in the 1990 model year, you get the difference. Your Chrysler dealers of Ontario know you'll stay.
Okay, we'll take it!
Back at the Forum and an update on the NHL scoreboard. The afternoon game saw New Jersey beat Chicago 3-2. The Devils fourth in the Patrick. The Hawks are still first in the Norris, 4 points ahead of St. Louis. Detroit is now within a point of Minnesota in the race for fourth in the Norris. They tied the Islanders in Uniondale 3-3. New York's winless in 5. St. Louis is pummeling Quebec in the third period 6-1. Brett Hall has goal number 58 to lead the way against Greg Millen and the Nordiques. Winnipeg is up by a pair on the Hartford Whalers. The Whalers will clinch a playoff spot if Quebec loses, and that's bound to happen based on what you see happening at Le Colisée. Boston has a goal by Greg Hoggood to lead Minnesota 1-0 in the second period, and later this evening the Los Angeles Kings play host to the Vancouver Canucks. Here in Montreal, the Canadiens lead by 8 at the end of 2. Live, this is Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Hey, Riley, give me a cold Molson Golden.
Golden.
And a big mess of chips and gravy.
Smooth Molson Golden. And the life at Riley's.
Kevin and Bee Saka, top breeders of champion bearded collies.
Top quality dogs require top quality food.
That's why we feed our dogs Pedigree Pal.
The solid meat chunks go really well with the dry. They get the balanced nutrition of both.
And now the makers of Pedigree Pal introduce Pedigree Choice Cuts. Tender, juicy, meaty chunks in a delicious gravy. One look says it's choice. One feeding proves it's irresistible. Pedigree. Recommended by Kevin and Bee Saka, top breeders.
Many professional money managers offer RSPs, and all of them save taxes, but they don't always maximize long-term growth. Only one manager is Canada's 20-year RSP growth leader, Mackenzie Financial Corporation and the Industrial Group of Funds. So don't settle for second best. Ask your independent investment fund dealer or stockbroker about an Industrial Group of Funds RSP. At Mackenzie, we're looking both ways to manage your money.
Push that clutch, shift that gear, release that clutch, grab that stick.
Stop! Let Mazda free you from the clutches of manual labor. Free automatic transmission on 626, MX6, Protege, 323 hatchback, and all Mazda trucks. Free automatic transmission or equivalent value credit, plus the best warranty in the business.
It just feels right.
It's ever so tough being ranked number one and not being rank. Playing the game without getting gamey. What assists me is Right Guard Sport from Gillette. With maximum protection and aromatically airy scents. It's the essence of good gamesmanship. After all, when one is capable of home runs, why play foul? Right Guard Sport from Gillette. Anything less would be uncivilized.
In Canada, a beer must be clean and cold. And it must have a genuine Canadian taste. Molson Canadian. What beer's all about.
Canadians scoring in the second. McPhee, Courtnall, Richer, and Lumet. They had 4 in the first and are leading 8-0. Pittsburgh right in there looking for one, and they get it right off the bat. 13 seconds into the period, and Patrick Waugh was tied with 3 shutouts in the league, going for his 4th, loses it here.
Bill Burke gets the chance at the side of the net on the rebound. Couple of chances, really. And finally puts it home.
Coffey threw it across to Jim Johnson, let the shot go, and Canadians guilty what the Penguins defense were doing in the first 2 periods, leaving players alone in front to pick up the rebound. Stevens poked at it at the end, but I think Burke will get it.
So Pittsburgh is finally on the board. 13 seconds into the 3rd period. They get their goal.
Penguins' goal is 18th of the season, scored by number 29, Phil Book.
Phil Book getting the goal.
Assisted by number 6, Jim Johnson.
So, Johnson and Coffey assisting on the goal. At 13 seconds into the 3rd period. We'll get it straight. Lumet dropped one back as the Canadians try to get that goal back. And they do not. Bork flipped one into the Montreal zone, and back there is Swoboda. So it's Bork, his 18th of the season, from Johnson and Coffey at 13 seconds. Period number 3. 8-1 the score, Canadians. Pittsburgh trying to keep it going. Tandy shoots it in. Waugh stepping out of the net to stop it for Lumet. Lumet and Swoboda, the Montreal defenseman. Scrudland on the move with Corson missing the pass near center. Richer, who has 2 goals on the night, is out there also. Tandy, long shot. Waugh covering on the rebound off the boards and centered. Richer left it for Scrudland. He's coming out with Richer skating hard to center. Up to Corson. Corson trying to get in around Brown, and he fell. Got back up quickly. Scrudland comes in there looking for it. Brown slapped it away for Tandy. He is covered outside the line. And it's Ludwig flipping it in from center ice. The Canadians make changes as Jim Kite comes around his own net. Laid it up on the left side, and hurrying back is Odeline. He slapped it ahead for Naslund. Naslund waits inside his own blue line. Now skates away to center. Coming up on Recchi. Flipped it in for Keane. Keane got back there, but not quickly enough, and Deneen had a chance to clear it. Second time, he feeds it ahead, and Recchi takes over. At center ice, Recchi's pass.
In behind Loney. He's got the puck behind the net, centered it. Deneen stopped it at the blue line. Here's a long shot, tipped in front of the net by Cullen. And he missed. Deneen lost it against LeBeau. LeBeau's weak pass. Recchi and Cullen moving inside the line. Deneen at the blue line. Flipped it into the corner to Recchi. And a tangle in front of the net. It is Loney of Pittsburgh. And Odelin again of the Canadiens.
Well, he's getting back into his American League groove tonight, the Canadiens rookie defenseman. This is his second fight. This time he gets the pin. 1, 2, 3.
He hasn't picked on any real cream puffs. Richard Zemlak and now Troy Loney. You know, Dick, Peter Angelo finishing they make a goalie change. Maybe the reason being they play in Quebec Monday night. They'll want Wendell Young, the way Pittsburgh's been playing so poorly, leave Peter Angelo in, keep Young fresh for Quebec Monday.
Tonight's game is coming to you from Montreal.
Nobody competes like your Chrysler dealer. The Guaranteed Rebate. $750 guaranteed rebate on Sundance and Shadow. $1,000 guaranteed rebate on Spirit and Acclaim. $1,000 guaranteed on Jeep Cherokee and Wagoneer. $1,000 guaranteed rebate on Eagle Summit. If the rebate increases during the 1990 model year, Chrysler will send you a check for the difference. Chrysler's Guaranteed Rebate. No other car company has it. Nobody competes like your Chrysler dealer. Nobody.
Odelin, 21 years of age, from Cool Lake, Saskatchewan, was a teammate of Mike Keane, his current teammate at the Moose Jaw Juniors. Troy Loney, Penguins number 24, and here's how they start to get involved. Push leads to shove, not much in the way of punch, but as we saw, Odelin did pin him down. So a former Lethbridge Junior against a Moose Jaw Junior. Western get together.
Pittsburgh is trailing the Canadiens by 7 goals. Here in the third period, they're nearing the 4-minute mark. And it is Ewan of Montreal coming out with Ryan Walter and Claude Lemieux. He tried to go in. Ewan stealing the puck from the goaltender. Left it there for Walter and his pass. Grabbed by Recchi. He gets it up to the Canadiens line. Schneider for Lemieux. Long shot in, steered away by Peter Angelo. Walter intercepting a pass and tried to make one himself for Lemieux. Walter again. He's pinned on the board. Dahlquist all over him. Recchi gets it out. Zemlak is moving up on the play with Recchi and Cullen. Recchi sandwiched inside the line. Desjardins fell, got back up and cleared the puck. Johnson from center slapped it in again. Desjardins, the Penguins make changes for Cardinal. Speed up. Good move. Still going. Dropped it back. Carbonneau! Shot blocked by Peter Angelo. Now Lume's shot. A weak one. Stopped by Coffey. He strides out of the Pittsburgh end. But a long shot in on Patrick Waugh. And again, it's Carbonneau. Trying to get it up to McPhee, the pass behind. Hard skating McPhee. He breaks in, threw it through the crease. Penguins cover, Stevens gets it out. Flipping it to center ice to Bork. He dropped it back. And McPhee had his man covered. Swoboda coming in with Cardinal. Swoboda. Pass to Carbonneau, and his shot is blocked on the short side. Opened up again here in the third period at this point. It is Cardinal trying to go in. He dropped it. Swoboda. Sharp angle for Swoboda. So, back to Cardinal. That's broken up. Out of the zone comes Brown. Stevens trailing. Brown, no room to go in. He's carried into the corner by Lume. Centered again, and Carbonneau gets it out of the Canadiens' end. Cardinal knocked down inside the line. He's going off. 8-1 is the score. Montreal coming up to the 6th minute of play in the third. Again, Tandy coming in. One of the net. Nearly lost it there in front of the goal. Canadiens 2-on-1. Screwed in with Richer going for his third, and the pass hit Kite. Tandy coming out, end to end now here in the third. The pass ahead for Gillen. He just tipped it into the Montreal zone. Canadians get it back out. Richer missing a check at center. Ludwig moving up on the play with Skrudland and Corson. And it goes to Skrudland. Back to the line, Richer. He can't shoot it. Tandy covered him. Deneen to Tandy to Brown. At center ice, Brown's pass. Finding Tandy, he dropped it. Cullen moving in the slot, and he lost it. Skrudland coming out. Richer up on the play. So is Lume. He jumps in there after it, the backhander. And Peter Angelo blocked that. Orson going into the boards rather heavily behind the Pittsburgh net, getting up slowly. He is going off. There he is. Offside, but he couldn't move quickly enough, and he was hurt. Orson going to the Montreal bench.
Take a look at a sleek, dynamic compact. Feel the power from the fingertip controls to the road-gripping treads. Grab hold and see how this baby rips up the road. The Caterpillar backhoe loader. One tough machine that's surprisingly easy to own.
In Ontario, Crothers is your complete line cat dealer with new backhoes starting from $49,950.
Shane Corson upset with himself. He went in the boards, and it looked like he might have taken it on that shoulder. But look, as he goes in, he fell with his right shoulder, sort of down on both elbows, but it looked like he was favoring Dick that right side.
So Corson remains on the bench. We'll keep an eye on Shane Corson. 45 shots in the hockey game now for the Canadiens. Keane trying to go in. Now he's in there getting set at the side of the net with that shot. LeBeau in there with him. LeBeau trying to dig it away from the boards. Cullen holding him with his skate. And they stop the play. It's up on the ledge, I think, and the referee saw that. Dave Newell stopped the play.
Well, there's one of the young Penguins we featured off the top of the show, John Cullen, from Boston U, but he comes by his hockey talents honestly, a member of the Cullen family. Barry is his father, great junior hockey brothers in the old days of the St. Catharines Teepees, and comes into this game with 26 goals. Had just 12 last year, so a big improvement. Canadians with 46 shots, they keep adding to their total here offensively. That equals their season high in one game, and that was just last Monday night in Detroit.
Canadians win the draw. Swoboda steps up from the line. In a play for Lume, he just flipped it in front of the net. LeBeau moving on the puck quickly. Stops for Naslund, back to the line. Here's Swoboda. He's stopped by Zemlak from making a move toward the net. Canadians forechecking though. Picked up by Gord Deneen. And Deneen played it to the other side for Dahlquist. Cullen to center. Cullen made a move back for Deneen. Canadians break it up and a break for Naslund. He's going it alone. Oh, and a great save. LeBeau centered it. Naslund tried to move around Peter Angelo, and he guessed right. Going down and made the save as Naslund thought he had a beat. Another pass for Cardinal. His shot. He got the rebound and sent it in front to Naslund. Another chance for the Canadiens. Boy, are they flying tonight. Here's Bork getting set. His shot is snared by Patrick Raw. Tell you, this is end to end. 8-1 if you've just tuned in. But they're getting lots of chances. These Habs.
Refer to the child care expense guide. Do I have one? Shut up, huh? Do you have one? I don't have one.
Well, if you move...
The specialized guides Revenue Canada produces to help you fill out your tax return are listed in your general guide. If you didn't receive the ones you need, contact your district tax office.
Here's your child care expense guide.
No, I have one. Do you have one? You do.
People with answers. Revenue Canada Taxation.
This has not been a very happy season individually for Mats Naslund. Scotty, you talked about Richer and the confidence he's starting to show, and he's on a breakaway or in alone. Naslund seems to be just the opposite.
Didn't get it up high enough. He went on the backhand side. There's enough room. Had he got it up, Dick, you see it just went into the Peter Angelo's glove, but he made a good play, just didn't get it up.
Peterson, number 10, against Ryan Walter of the Canadiens. Bob Hodges, the linesman, lines them up. Larry Peterson went after the puck. Ludwig played it off the boards and got it out of his zone. Johnson dropped it back. Coffey is back there with him. Tipped to center ice. Penguins move on it. Bork trying to find room. He's in too far. Comes back out. Stevens was there. Waugh down. They knocked it in the net, but the play had been called. And the referee, Dave Newell, was very close to it and just shakes his head. No, not a goal.
Burns giving a lot of ice time now to Ewan, Walter Lemieux, and also the LeBeau, Keane, and Naslund line as well.
This program is copyright and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation or Volstar Communications is strictly prohibited. You look at that last chance for Pittsburgh and the last chance for the Quebec Nordiques to do something. Not tonight. Again.
Well, this streak, Montreal, Bob, it's up to 32 goals and not even completed their 4th game at home and only given up 7. It's been a tremendous series of 5 straight wins coming in to this game as well, Dick. At home.
Yeah, the first 2 in the streak were 1-0 and 2-0.
That'll be a penalty here in a moment. The Canadiens get possession, which they do now. A penalty has been called against Montreal, who had just recorded their 50th shot in this hockey game.
Todd Ewan gets the penalty. On that last rush that the Penguins came close, Phil Bork, he can skate very well. I was thinking earlier tonight that you take a look out on the ice, Scotty, tonight. You get Paul Coffey, you get Russ Courtnall. If you like to watch hockey players who are pure skaters, river skaters, some people might call them. Coffey is, of course, considered maybe one of the best. Here's the reason for Ewan drawing a penalty. He loses his helmet, and he loses 2 minutes of his time here as well for that on Tandy.
Penalty number 36, Todd Ewan. 2 minutes for highest sticking at 9 minutes, 1 second.
And we all know that Phil Bork is Ray Bork's brother. Now, he has a brother
but
called
he doesn't
Ray.
play for Boston.
That's right. He's not the same one.
Chelmsford, Massachusetts as well is where Phil Bork is from. And, boy, hockey players coming from everywhere now. Woonsocket, Rhode Island for Matthew Snyder. And just a big impression that 1980 win has made on the United States hockey, Dick, when you get players from so many good players now from Michigan as well. You know, LaFontaine, Iafredi, Modano. Just go down through the list. So many. Carson.
10 years ago today, the gold medal win over Finland.
Canadians hammer the puck down the ice. Ewan is in the penalty box for high sticking. Johnson has the puck for Pittsburgh. Coming up to center, and he just rolled it in for the Canadian zone. Wow, out of the goal. Desjardins had to move in a hurry for Carbonneau. Carbonneau and Keane on there with Desjardins and Schneider. Johnson for Pittsburgh. And of course, Coffey, Recchi, Cullen, and Loney, the forward line. This is Cullen. John Cullen. His pass to Coffey. Recchi moving up on it. Recchi backhands it into the corner. Desjardins slow moving it. Cullen was in there to pass it back to Coffey. Coffey gets set. In a pretty good spot to make a play. He does. Cullen winds up, looking at the net. Now Cullen again. Won't shoot it. Coffey can't now. He's covered by Keane. Desjardins to Carbonneau. Glove pass inside the line, but you're allowed to do that now. And it's cleared down the ice. Good rule change, I think, Scotty.
Well, it keeps play moving, that's right, and you don't intentionally stop play.
Pittsburgh coming in. Brown fired it behind the net. Johnson moving on it. Canadians can't get it out. This is Coffey again. Coffey winding up for the shot. Stopped the rebound, though. And Schneider did a good job covering his man in front of the goal. Here's another shot by Johnson this time. Stevens going behind the net. 7 seconds left in the Montreal penalty. Coffey at the line. Skating around in there, the backhander, and that's blocked by Ludwig. Ewan stepping out of the penalty box and stepping right into Stevens with a hard hit. Ludwig fell, but Sprudlin carried the puck out. Up with McPhee and dumped it in. Canadians make changes. Coffey. Harry Neal likes to call him the best glider in the business. Doesn't look like he's working. He just flies. Lume moving in. Along the board, centered it. Corson came very close, and he slammed into the boards again. So he's okay after the early injury. It looked like an injury, and then nearly got another. He was coming in like a train and just kept coming. Now, there's Bork, another great skater with a long shot. Missed the net with 8 minutes left in the third. He's in there close to the Montreal goal, but Lume was covering. Out to Richer. Richer couldn't get too far. He and Cardinal both have 2 goals in this hockey game. Richer and Cardinal. Corson starting up. LeBeau takes his pass. Up over the Pittsburgh line. Corson shot! And that's blocked by Peter Angelo. This time he hangs onto it. 52-24 of the shots favor of Canadians.
We love this game forever. Play to win right from the start. But what's the use in winning? Friends are torn apart. There's nothing halfway about it. That's always been our cause. It says it all.
Well, this time next week, we'll be in the merry month of March, and Hockey Night in Canada starts its march to the playoffs. Not long to go. 3 games for you next Saturday. Detroit at Toronto, the Canadiens and the North Stars in Minnesota, Vancouver playing at Calgary. Please check your local listings 1 week from tonight on Hockey Night in Canada. Scotty, will that be our last trip to Bloomington, Minnesota?
Well, it looks like certainly with the Canadians playing there next Saturday, and it's hard to believe. So, you know, that team you talked about in 1980, so many Minnesotans on it, and hockey moved that early. I'd be surprised.
Recchi took a big hit from Ludwig. Walter ran into Dahlquist on the other side. So the Canadians show Pittsburgh a sign or two that they're willing to continue to hit if they have to. They sure have been skating tonight, leading 8-1 with just under 7 minutes left in the third period. Third in by Deneen. Canadians come back. Odeline played it off the boards. Right wing pass finding Ewan. His shot gloved down by Peter Angelo. And Coffey with a little room. Starting back out. He's as far as center. To the line. Dropped it back. Recchi is there with him to take that trailer pass. He tried to roll it back to the blue line to Johnson. But Naslund moved out. 3 Penguins are back against Naslund. So that's the end of that rush. Cullen to center. Tandy dropped it back to him. Broken up at the line. Keane back out for Montreal. Flipped the pass to LeBeau. LeBeau is quick to get in there. He's right in. And the rebound is there in front of the net, but Tandy got back for Pittsburgh. Tandy coming in. Coffey takes his pass. Dropped in front of the net. 2-on-1 again for the Canadiens. Coffey was trapped up the ice. It is Keane. The ball is there.
Naslund finally puts one in after Paul Coffey gets trapped once more. It's about a 4-on-1, and you'll see going to the net, Matt Naslund after a good pass from LeBeau, but Pittsburgh, really no defense. Johnson back alone. Coffey doesn't get back to pick up the man, and Naslund puts it in.
Scored by number 26, Mats Naslund.
Well, that's his 18th of the season. He's been a big scoring machine for the Canadiens, for a little guy, but having a tough season this time. 14-13, the time of the goal by Naslund from LeBeau and Keane. That makes it 9-1. Canadiens going after the double figures now. Frank Pietrangelo has been in since the start of the game. He was beaten 5-24 for the first Canadiens goal by Carbonneau. And the march was on. They're up to 9 now. And counting with 5 minutes left in the third. Peterson gets it out of his own zone because the Penguins want to make changes. They do just that, and they see Lume coming in. Lume was hit at the blue line by Jim Kite. Lume still looking for the puck with Corson and Skrugland. Lume takes it, goes to the net, trying to get a shot. They score! There's number 10. So what work by Lume?
Lume just stick handles towards the net. Looked like he first was going to shovel it in. Gilbert Delorme all over him, but nobody picks up Shane Corson for an easy flip in between Pietrangelo's legs. And you look at all the Penguins standing around and hardly anybody in front. Corson flips it in for number 10.
Here I go again with the stats. Since they started keeping track of shots on goal in 1955, the most the Canadiens have ever had in one game is 59. That was their 56th.
All right.
That's my job now from now on. Keep track.
4:30 left in the third period, so there's time yet, Dick.
Shane Corson.
Corson the goal. 15:25 the time. Lume got a big assist. Now Cardinal is going in there. Stop. McPhee centered it. Cullen rolled it up to the blue line and out. Lume happy about this effort tonight. And here he is coming back in his own zone. He has his first goal of the season tonight for the Canadiens. Jyrki Lume scored it in 18-16 of the second period. 3:44 remaining in the third. 10-1. Cardinal with 2 goals on the score sheet tonight. Richer also has a pair. Pittsburgh moving up. Tandy, pass to Brown. Brown going in, and he's stopped by Patrick Waugh, but Brown made a couple of dandy moves in front of the Canadiens netminder. Carbonneau to Cardinal, taking a look at the shot. Pietrangelo the save. 58. 58, okay.
Somebody
Brown.
got the message down, Bob, to Pat Burns. He's passed it on to the team.
Johnson in the corner, centered it, hit the side of the net. Dumped in front again, and Waugh is going to hang on to it with 2:55 remaining in the third. He's beaten just once tonight.
You know, the decision you make here at the pump has a lot to do with how your car performs year-round. What you put into it is what you get out of it. And when you put in Esso Supreme, you get a premium unleaded gasoline designed with high octane and improved cleaning power to deliver peak performance. Esso Supreme, the supremely intelligent gasoline. Esso, going that extra mile.
Don't forget, Ken Dryden's home game tomorrow, number 4. In a series of 6, no final victories. And Ken will remember the 1972 Canada-Soviet series, in which he was, of course, one of the stars. BBC, check your listings. It starts at 8 Eastern. Canadians keep that puck in. Lemieux. Strong arm to shot. He scores! Lemieux, a solid effort, tied up, but somehow with one hand. That's number 11 tonight for the Canadiens.
59th Canadian shot. Barry Peterson can't handle Claude Lemieux even with the one hand on the stick. Lemieux shows the strength that he has. Lets it go, and Peter Angelo by this time has had far too many shots, Bob.
Yes.
You see, though, you see how a strong physical strength means a lot now, but just one hand through the pads or just midsection of Peter Angelo.
Claude Lemieux.
That was Barry Peterson trying to hang on to Lemieux. He couldn't do it. Now he drops it back. Walter's shot is stopped. You got that one registered, Dick?
17:44, third period, 60th shot. That's a record.
60 shots.
Ryan Walter's got the record, 60th Canadian shot.
Oh boy, 60 to 26. And Frank Pietrangelo in the storm of pucks tonight. Here's Corson. There are more coming. This one, though, was deflected by Delorme, and it's over the glass into the crowd. 1:44 remaining in the third.
At your Chrysler dealers of Ontario, you've told us this is what you want. Dodge Shadow and Plymouth Sundance. 3- and 4-door. Just $12,399. Price includes air conditioning and automatic. Plus 47 standard features.
I'll take it.
Plus, choose 8.9% factory financing.
I'll take it.
Or choose $750 guaranteed rebate. If the rebate goes up in the 1990 model year, you get the difference. Your Chrysler dealers of Ontario know you'll say.
Okay, we'll take it!
You're looking at the shot clock here in the Montreal Forum, and the Habs insignia there showing there's 60 shots in this hockey game tonight. It's 26 for Pittsburgh. Somebody else, Dick, better get a note down to Pat Burns, because there's another milestone maybe for the Canadiens tonight if they can get another goal.
15,000 goals. I think Joe Malone scored the first one, Dick. I think I read somewhere about that. They've got us down that the next Canadian goal would be goal number 15,000.
Well, Corson nearly broke away with Richer and the crowd on their feet. As we mentioned, Richer has appeared tonight. So does Courtnall. And it's always nice as it goes with a hat trick. Listen to the crowd every time he gets it. But this time, Ricky gets a breakaway. Coming in with Cullen. He's in there, but he couldn't get a shot. And Dave Newell is calling a penalty, but here's a drive that gets over the glass, tipped into the crowd, and there's going to be a Montreal penalty with only 54 seconds left.
Canadians penalty number 20, Irki Lume, 2 minutes for hooking.
Lume
19 minutes.
Is on the score sheet in various spots tonight. He's in the penalty box now. And Pittsburgh trying to move the puck in there. Into the corner. Schneider knocks it away, and Courtnall is coming out. That pass comes into Carbonneau. Courtnall breaking for the net. He's in there. Takes his shot. Pietrangelo makes the save. Only 20 seconds left in the third period. Pittsburgh hammered heavily by the Canadiens tonight. Outshot 61-26. scored 11-1. Patrick Waugh beaten once in the hockey game. And Peter Angelo beaten 11 times.
I think that's the most goals the Canadians have scored since, Scotty, you were coaching, February 22nd, 1979, when they beat, guess who? Pittsburgh. You beat them 12-0 that night. And it's the most shots on goal in the history of the Montreal Canadiens since they started keeping the records in 1955. Then they get 61 of them.
Borg breaking the shutout. Patrick Waugh at the 13-second mark of this third. Naslund at 14-13. Corson at 15-25. Borg breaking the shutout. Lemieux at 17-24. And that was it for scoring in this one. Final 11-1. Canadians over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Just a moment. A Molson Cup 3-star selection.
You only get the real feeling by doing it. Choose a career. Live the adventure.
You'll be surprised who's driving Hyundai. Open your eyes, you'll get there someday. You'll be surprised by the room, the style, the zoom, the ride, the feel, the higher ideal. You'll be surprised who's driving Hyundai. Open your eyes, you'll drive one someday. You'll be surprised.
It's a freedom to do what you want to do. It's a good life. Oh, yeah.
Free to do what you want to do. That's the freedom of winning millions.
It's a freedom.
The Big Lotto 649. It's freedom for $1.
Fans in Montreal were expecting to come here this evening and cheer 66. They cheered 61 instead. The last word did go to Lemieux, but it was Claude, not Mario. Guy Carbonneau, the #1 star tonight, as the Canadians romp over the Pittsburgh Penguins, the second of the Molson Cup 3 stars this evening. Russ Courtnall, who's enjoyed a big week for the Canadians, and naturally it's a sweep for Montreal. Jyrki Lumme, star #3, as Montreal defeats Pittsburgh by a count of 11-1. The prettiest move of the evening was compliments of Stéphane Richer, and what a year it's been for Stéphane. 39 goals. He leads the Molson Cup balloting on the year to date with 85 points. And Stéphane, I'm glad you've come for the interview. I know you do many, but not many live interviews in English. Why
my
not?
first time, and the other day I talked with Jules Brière about this. He said, "You're reading it now?" I said, "Oh yeah, it's all right. As long as I'm talking about hockey, I should be all right."
Tell me about your turnaround. A 50-goal year, 25 last, and now you're right back on pace for 50 and leading the Canadians. Why the turnaround?
Well, in the summer I have a good meeting with Pat and Megog, and I told Pat this summer I will be ready for a good training camp, and I said, give me a good chance to play with two good hockey players offensively with Stéphane Lebeau and Shane Corson, and give me a good break, and if I miss my break, so we'll see after. And Stéphane and Shane and me, we have a good start, and everything keep going like this, and right now I'm really happy to play with Shane and with Brian Scruden also.
I think that line has really been terrific. If you had a preference, which way would you go, with Brian or Stéphane, or with the season you're having, does it matter?
Well, right now, is I have, like you said, and with Brian and Shane, we have a lot of success lately, and I'm really happy to with Brian. He's a good defensive player, so I think that's easier for Shane and me to have more opportunity to play a bit offensively, and I know Brian is always behind me to really care about the defensive side, so that's I like to take chance a little bit more offensively, and right now, we're really happy to working together, and I hope we're going to keep going like this for the rest of the season.
The team plays very well at home. Your 23rd victory here on Forum Ice. Now you have a stretch where 10 of the next 15 games are on the road, and you really need to secure home ice advantage, it would seem, for the Stanley Cup playoffs. So why do you think the team is not as good on the road as it is at the Forum?
Well, it is a good question. First of all, we know we don't have a good power play, so sometimes in the season this year, we lose a lot of games like by 1 or 2 goals because the power play didn't score, and then we didn't score the big goal on the power play like something to win like Boston or the Sabres. So we know next week we got a big weekend coming on the road, and I think that's pretty good to score a lot of goals tonight and have the big game tomorrow night before that big trip. And I don't know what's going on the road. I think we want to be maybe a little bit more defensively, and we don't take any chance like tonight offensively a little bit. And maybe we're going to change our style before playoff. We have no choice. We have to win those big games on the road, so that's really important for us.
A week ago Friday in Buffalo, the team seemed to be flying. You were ahead 3-0, and then the power play goal by the Sabres when Corson was off, and the team just fell flat. I don't know whether the Sabres or the Bruins scare you. Do you think you can handle those two clubs, and which one of the two do you think is the stronger?
Well, we know the Bruins and the Sabres, they're really tough to beat at home, so we're going to try to do the same thing in Montreal, and I hope in the playoff to beat those guys, at least one on the road. And we know they have a better power play than us, so that's really important in the playoff. And well, we know we are the best goalie in the league, so we're going to try to play a little bit more defensively and try to play better on this side, and hope we're going to score a couple goals on the power play to beat those guys on the rest of the season and get confidence for the playoff.
It's very important for this franchise to have a French-Canadian superstar. Maurice Richard, the Rocket, Le Gros Bill, Jean Beliveau, the Flower, Guy Lafleur, and many people see you as the next French-Canadian superstar for the Canadiens. Do you see the importance of that? And I want to ask you, do you have a nickname?
Well, some guys call me like Rocket Junior or the Natural, but I think that's a funny name. And well, I know that's great to be compared with all the big names like Mr. Beliveau, Mr. Richard, but I think I'm Stéphane Richer. I don't want to be compared with all those big names. They did so much for the team before, so I didn't prove nothing right now. I just want to play my game and working hard for the team.
And a final comment on the game tonight against Pittsburgh. What happened?
Well, what happened is we know they're going to come tonight and try to beat us. They played really 2 good games at home, and they beat the Flyer and New York Islanders after the big comeback. So that was really important for us to have a good start and try to get the lead, and we know they can score a lot of goals, so we have to play with a lot of speed to beat those guys, and I think that's what happened. We got a lead, and Patrick Roy did a good save in the first period, and everything was over after this.
C'est incroyable en anglais. Congratulations, Stéphane, on a great year, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
People across the country join you in celebrating this 11-1 win, and a nice way to sum it up. Compliments of you. There are the Molson Cup 3 stars, Carbonneau, Courtnall, and Lume. The final tonight. The Montreal Canadiens win handily over Pittsburgh 11-1. Stay tuned for more on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
What makes a great family of jeans great for your family? Heavyweight 14-ounce cotton denim. 4 full layers of seam strength at every seam. Copper oxide rivets or bar tacking at stress points, and waist sizes from 2 to 52. The Marks Work Warehouse family of jeans. Just $19.99 in sizes for men, women, and boys.
Pursuing a full-time job can also mean a life of adventure in the Canadian Forces Reserve. An active, fulfilling professional life, plus an exciting part-time military career. Join the Reserve. Call now.
Play, score, and win at all A&P Dominion stores. You could win one of 26 trips for 4 to Orlando, Florida, home of Disney MGM Studios theme park. Courtesy of Canadian Holidays, a world of vacations. Or win this color TV from Emerson, a Skill Home Workshop, a 35mm camera from Fuji, or this car phone from Cantel. Next week's features, Tide gets the tough stuff cleaner. And A&P Jelly Powders, a tasty treat anytime.
At your Chrysler dealers of Ontario, you've told us this is what you want. Dodge Shadow and Plymouth Sundance. 3- and 4-door, just $12,399. Price includes air conditioning and automatic, plus 47 standard features.
I'll take it.
Plus, choose 8.9% factory financing.
I'll take it.
Or choose $750 guaranteed rebate. If the rebate goes up in the 1990 model year, you get the difference. Your Chrysler dealers of Ontario know you'll say,
Okay, we'll take it!
It's gonna be late. No, it's not. It's gonna be late.
For reliable economic delivery on a rush or urgent shipment, call Fastest Flight.
It's gonna be late. No, it's not.
Fastest Flight is expedited highway transportation at down-to-earth prices. Fastest Flight is dependable door-to-door service for just about any volume of anything from the St. Lawrence to the Pacific. Call Fastest Flight next time you have a deadline to meet.
You're gonna be sick. No, you're not.
We're live nationwide from the Forum in Montreal, the NHL tonight, here to sum up an 11-1 Canadiens victory over Pittsburgh.
Thought we were going to the scores.
We're going to go to the scores, but don't you want to comment about the game while we're on?
Well, I told you at the very start it didn't look very good. No excitement. Pittsburgh, talking to the guys, they were asleep, and they weren't ready at all. Does this mean Patrick Waugh gets the All-Star? He got the only one goal against them.
This is a typical night for Patrick Waugh, just like last week was a typical week for Steve Yzerman, so I doubt it.
Right.
Around the NHL, let's bring you up to date on what's transpired Saturday thus far. New Jersey today.
Should have been a 3-3 tie. They called a goal back there. It should have with Chicago.
Okay, an afternoon final that saw the Devils win. Chris Terreri was outstanding, blocking 46 of 48 shots. The New York Islanders are winless in 5.
Well, they're getting caught up with them. Detroit, I think, is 1 point down. They're tied with a playoff spot. They're going to make the playoffs. Watch.
They're one back they're even in games with Minnesota, but the Stars are playing now, and they'll have the game in hand and trail by 1, pending the outcome of Stars-Bruins.
You know, somebody better get a hold of Joe Sakic. I saw him play tonight. He's fallen in. He's not the Joe Sakic he was a month ago. He's Joe Sakic. He's got to go and play like he can. He's fallen into that Quebec rut.
The Nords guarantee Hartford Whalers a playoff spot in the Adams Division. Despite this result, Winnipeg by a pair over Hartford, and the Whalers continue to struggle at home, although they had won 3 in a row going in Pacific Center.
Isn't that something? Winnipeg, boy, what a turnaround there. They're going to be tough in the playoffs, believe me.
They have won 5 in a row over Calgary. The Flames have just 1 win in their last 14 against the Kings, the Oilers, and the Jets. There's Boston's score. It's a partial third period play, 3-2 Bruins.
Look at that. Household words. Hoggard, Galley, and Janney. I tell you how they do it. They try all the time. They pick up Gould, they pick up Christian, they pick up anybody, and they try all the time. First place overall with only two hockey players, Bork and Neely.
Reggie Lemelin played well in this West Coast tour, but Moog is the goalkeeper against Casey in that game tonight. And Vancouver, LA later this evening as the Canucks try to keep their slim playoff hopes alive in the Smythe. There's the final Montreal 11, Pittsburgh 1. You know, the big trade this year was between Vancouver and Pittsburgh, but Tanti and Peterson probably feel like they're still members of the Canucks who were shelled to 10-1 by this team.
Yeah, but they never got 60 shots to get them. That's a disgrace. Peter Angelo should sue those guys. I mean, and why a lot of people say, why didn't he take them out? They got a big game Monday. Why get Wendell Young all shook up too? You lost that battle, but win the war Monday.
Talk about turnarounds. Toronto is spelled 12-2 by Calgary, and then down 5-2 to Edmonton, win 6-5.
Now, be honest, how many turned off the TV when it was 5-2? And I'll tell you, it was goal, Leafs goal more than I've ever heard it even in the Gardens. That was just surprising to me, and I've always said right along, Bester is the good goaltender. How about the save he made on Klima? Unbelievable. Remember you people were making fun of him, saying he was sick and all that stuff, and he had his stuff with his heel and stuff like that. Best goalie, one of the best in the league, and that's why they're doing so well on account of Bester.
Montreal Canadiens, thank you, Don. Win by more than a foot tonight. 11-1 is the huge margin of victory for the Canadiens. We'll have more from the Forum in a moment.
In 1924, Esso opened its first research and development center with one person. Since then, more and more people have joined the team to develop advanced petroleum products to help Canadian drivers go that extra mile. Now over 300 people make our center the biggest in Canada. And our future, and yours, is looking very bright. Esso, going that extra mile.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till you're gonna need somebody to lean on.
General Motors trucks.
trucks more people lean on.
Hey, you've got talent.
Oh, it's just a hobby. Someday I'd like to do it full time, but my retirement's a long way off.
Perhaps you have the wrong retirement plan.
Aren't they all alike?
No, your plan should be as individual as you are.
Oh, really?
Yes, at the Mutual Group, because we're a group,
We've got different financial services, different options.
together we'll work out a plan that lets you retire when you want.
And get on with the real business of painting.
The Mutual Group. Facing tomorrow together.
Welcome back to the Forum in Montreal. 2 weeks ago tonight, the Canadiens got to the 5-goal plateau in a game for only the 5th time in their 58th game. Now they've scored 5 or more in 6 of the last 7. 49 goals over that stretch. They're averaging 7 a game and win big tonight. Montreal's not had a losing record on home ice in 50 years. 11-1, the Canadiens over the Pittsburgh Penguins. 3 games next Saturday. Detroit's at Toronto, Vancouver at Calgary. Minnesota's home to Montreal. Thanks for watching, and good night.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Brought to you by Molson Exports. Nothing halfway about it. X says it all. And by Esso, makers of high-performance Esso Supreme gasoline.
The head of TV Network Sports is Arthur Smith, the executive producer of Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC, Ron Harrison. Tonight's game at the Forum in Montreal was produced by Mark Askin. Our show this evening directed by Malcolm Charlton and Jacques Primo. And our thanks as always to all who helped make tonight's telecast possible. This has been a CBC Sports presentation in association with Molstar Communications.
I still talk about that goal probably 300 days a year.
On Home Game, a retrospective. 20 years later.
It was our country against their country.
And the effect Glasnost is having on Soviet hockey. Ken Dryden's Home Game tomorrow.
Always came so easily. No pressure, no distractions. But now he sees and hears everything. He doesn't know why or how to make it stop.
Tonight, the Canadiens' scoring machine rolls on as Montreal hosts Pittsburgh. The Canadian men's ski team decides who's king of the downhill. And the Canadian Football League holds its annual college draft.
Sports Desk is brought to you by Mazda. It just feels right. Sports Desk with Peter Watts and Chris Sedens.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Desk. Also coming up in the next half hour, the latest from the baseball talks in New York. Action from day one of the Scott Tournament of Hearts, that, of course, in Ottawa. And we'll start things off with some hockey. At the Montreal Forum, the Habs facing the Mario-less Penguins.
It is a great time to be a hockey fan, and it's going to be fun for the next couple of months here. Thank you for joining us this evening. The line of Guy Carbonneau, Russ Courtnall, and Mike McPhee has become something of a scoring machine for the Canadiens of late. Canadiens have 17 goals in 3 games since last Saturday, and this line has been front and center in much of the scoring. The fireworks continued tonight at the Forum with the Pittsburgh Penguins providing the opposition. Pat Burns and company hoping that whatever has happened to his offense can keep happening for a while. This has been quite a story in Montreal the last week or so. Mike McPhee does all the work to set up this first goal as Guy Carbonneau beats Frank Pietrangelo from close in. And the Habs are off and leading by a score of 1-0. Canadians into a physical style of play as well. Mike Keane levels Bob Airy on this play, and the youngster was a little bit dazed after going down, but he was able to come back a few minutes later. Canadians completely dominant in this one. Patrick Roy with a great sprawling stop there on a good scoring try by Pittsburgh. Still first period, Canadians up 3-0. Beautiful pass. Eric Desjardins to Stéphane Richer. And Montreal in total command, leading 4-0 after the first period. Second period now. Habs keep the pressure on. Brian Scrudlin to Shane Corson. And there's Richer once again. Peter Angelo a little bit slow with the glove to get to the top corner. 7-0 Montreal. 11 won the final. Craig Patrick says, I can't believe it. Habs with 61 shots on goal. Frank Peter Angelo played pretty well, but they beat him 11 times.